Welcome back to Hangar 51. So today we're going to do the install of the afterburner from Mr. Gooniac, Mr. Magoo, GBLynden33. This is the FIREY booty we're going to install today. So without further ado, let's just get to it. Let's get to the install of the FIREY booty from Mr. Gooniac himself. So we're going to go ahead and unscrew this. And this. And pop this open. There we go. Out that came. Alright. Now do we have to take the motor out? I'd say we do. Alright. So there's 4 screws here to take the motor out, so let's do that. Trying to stay out of the view of the camera here as much as I can, guys. So hopefully I'm doing okay. Alright. Okay. This should just lift out of here pretty easily. Might be stuck a little bit, but I don't anticipate too much trouble here. Should come out of here pretty easily. Oh, there's one more screw in there. There, I couldn't see that one in the back here. The phone was blocking my way. Definitely need to get all the screws out if you want it to come out, for sure. Yeah, most of the fans I've seen only have 4 screws holding them in, not 6. So, alright, now we got all the screws out. Let's see if now it don't come out. I anticipate it probably will. Let's take a look. There we go, look at that. Love it when a plan comes together. Alright. So now I just need to take these 2 Allen screws out. So okay, hopefully, yeah, that's the right size. There's one. Here's the second one right here. Okay. Take this little cone off the back here. I think there's only 2 screws, right? Yeah, it's just the 2. Wow, that's metal. that's a press fit there. Holy moly. I need a flat screwdriver that I don't think I have handy here. I probably do. This will be alright. And there it goes. Yeah, that's an aluminum cone, guys. Holy crap. That's pretty sweet. Alright. And then we take our fiery booty. Not to be confused with a light burner that you guys keep making the mistake of. Guys, there's no burning light here. This is a fiery booty. Afterburner. Not a light burner. Let's not get that confused. This is a fiery booty from Gooniac that we're installing. Alright. So I went ahead and unplugged that wire so that I can fish that through easier. And I'm going to, I'm assuming that he's got this designed so that it lines up with either where the motor comes out or where okay, so I see it. It just touches against there to make it a press fit, which it's already a press fit. So, and it looks like just like that. I brought the wires out with the motor wires right here. So the wires are going to stay in sync with the motor wires. Just like that. Make sure it's on tight. I'll set that there for a second while I get the screws back. So the screws don't literally screw into anything other than the outer casing, and then they just grub up against that little aluminum tab inside. So you guys, you don't want to over tighten these. You want to just snug them up. You know, put them in there till they snug, and that's all the tighter you want to get, especially with the replacement fiery booty, because it's a plastic housing, and all you're going to do is pull the housing, you know, distort the housing till it wants to come off. So you're much better off just threading these in till they touch. There's a little bit of tension on them, and that's far enough. Don't over tighten. And the way this is designed, guys, if you're worried, you know, what if it comes off the back of the motor in flight? Listen, it's not going to interfere with anything. It's just going to hang out in the back there. It probably will disrupt your airflow, but that's not going to crash your airplane. It'll probably make a funny sound, and you'll know that something's wrong, and you just come around and land. And it shouldn't be a problem. You know, it's not going to get caught in the fan or anything like that. It's behind the fan. Air's blowing it away from the fan. So there's no chance of this coming off and interfering with anything. That's snugged up a little bit there. In there. Okay. Well, that was pretty painless, guys. It doesn't get much easier than that. Okay, so now we gotta fish this through, which is going to be really simple. I need my go-get-em wire. Be right back for that. Okay, guys, so after several attempts at trying to get it through the splitter of the fan ducts, it's not a problem for the wire, but my go-get-em wire kept hooking on another wire as I tried to pull through, so it kept snagging on something. So I decided to go over the top, just like the speed control, and it went right in. So I just went that route because I couldn't get it through the hole there without it snagging another wire. It's got nothing to do with interfering with, you know, the wire or anything else. If I was using a different go-get-em wire that I didn't feel like going and finding right now, I'd been fine, but either way it's going to work just fine. I don't really think it's necessary, but I'm going to put one tie wrap on the wire. There's no way the wire can interfere with anything the way it goes in here, guys. It's following the speed control, and it's behind the fan, so it can't get sucked into the fan. It can't, you know. There's just no way it can be a problem. But I'm going to throw one. You know, since Ray put them in the bag, I'm going to go ahead and put one tie wrap right here. Just tie it to the motor wires, just like that. And that's all I'm going to do. It doesn't need anything more than that. Now the only way this could ever be a problem, and I'm going to give you a little heads up on that right now, is if you have it too loose inside the battery compartment, that wire, since it is out in front of the fan, as it goes through the thing here, it could potentially get sucked into the fan. But that's only if it's got enough slack up front to allow it to get in the fan. So as long as you get it taut up there somewhere, and I'm going to tie it again up front. I don't think it needs another tie in the back. But I am going to tie it again up front to make sure that there is no slack in it. And that'll be fine. So there we go. It slides right back in place here like that. I don't see any way in the world how adding this is going to add. It doesn't weigh anything, so it's not adding, you know, maybe a gram. But it's certainly not disrupting the airflow. You know, Ray's absolutely right. The way it's designed, it actually has probably better cooling potential than the stock aluminum cone because it has vent holes in it. But it's certainly not going to interfere with airflow. So there's no way this is going to hinder the performance of your fan. So if you were worried about that, I wouldn't be. I don't see any way in the world that could be a problem. The way it's designed, the airflow going around that thing is going to be beautiful. So I do want to do one thing though before I finish this up. It's very, very hot out in my garage today, guys. And it's very early in the morning. I'm doing this early in the morning to try to keep the heat down. And I'm still sweating like a pig. It's just... Okay, guys, so we got it all in there. We've got the wire. It's just running up there on top of the speed control, which is technically under the speed control when you put the plane right side up. Okay, guys, so we're just tightening up the screws. Listen, I don't care what you're working on. Never tighten the screws all the way until you have them all in. You have to get them all started first. Trust me, it'll make life easier, because it's just going to bite you in the ass. Not on every project, but sooner or later, you're going to screw something in tight, you know, as you go, and then you're going to try to put that last screw in, and you're just going to fight it. And it's because it's off a 1/10 of a millimeter, and that's all it takes to make your life miserable. So just trust me when I tell you, get everything started before you tighten anything down. Just, you know, get them all in there, get them all started, then go back and tighten them up. I'm using the standard crisscross snugging. Any of you guys have worked on engines or anything like that, you know what I'm talking about. You know, it's like putting your lug nuts on your wheels. You go crisscross, you know, before you snug them. You snug them and then you torque them in a crisscross pattern. Same thing. I'm doing the same thing here. Doing a crisscross pattern, getting them snug. Make sure everything snugs up good, and then I'm going to tighten them. Okay. Alright, so here we go here. Last. Tighten that one. Tighten that one. Tighten that one. That one. Another two in the middle. And then, because when it comes to this kind of stuff, I'm OCD. Go back over it one more time. Tighten that one. Tighten that one. That one. That one. And the middle ones. And they are tightening up again. So I'm probably going to go over it one more time. I don't know if you can see this or not, guys, but the sweat is just dripping off of me. It's getting all over the airplane. It's water everywhere. I mean, it's literally running off the tail feathers and dripping on my foot. I'm sweating my arms are sweating so much that the sweat is dripping off my arms onto my tail feathers and then puddling at the back edge of them and dripping on my foot. I mean, it's hot out here. Holy crap. It's 9:30 in the morning and it's that hot out here. Fans running wide, my ceiling fan's wide open, and it's not helping. It's just way too hot out here. So, alright, so let's do it one more time. Alright. Tight. 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 And tight. Okay. Alright guys, I'm satisfied. That's in tight. Now, listen, that's just because it's the motor, you know. I'm not going to tighten this down like that. Just snug the foam. You start tightening this down like that and you're just going to crush it. Yeah, you just got to snug these screws. Okay guys, so here's the final install. Here's my wire that came through the right here, and it ends up being almost the exact same length as my power lead to my battery. Okay, so I'm going to put one more tie wrap right here. Now just give a slight tug on this just to make sure I have it all up here, and I'm going to tie wrap it. I'm not going to tie wrap it right at the plugs. I'm going to go back here a little ways and tie wrap it. And that'll just make sure that the wire stays up here, doesn't go sliding back and get in the motor. I seriously doubt it would ever be a problem, but just a little precaution, little reassurance, not a big deal. So we'll just tie that off like that. Cut the tie wrap here, and we're good. Okay, so the only thing left to do now, guys, is here's the main harness. Like I said, you've got the option of you know, going off your battery lead. Your balance lead's already set up for it, or you can unplug that and plug a battery directly into this, or use the extension cord if you'd like. It comes with. You know, make it a little longer, and plug a separate battery source. You know, a 3-cell. It's got to be a 3-cell, guys. I'm guessing if you use more than 3-cell, because of the way he wired this for you already, that if you use more than 3 cells, you're going to cook it. So don't, you know, if you're going to use a separate battery source, it might work on a 2-cell or a 1-cell as well. I don't know, but judging by that, he doesn't want you to use more than 3-cell. So don't go over a 3-cell if you're going to use a separate battery. I'm not going to. I'm sure. Yeah, it's just an LED, guys. I seriously doubt there's any significant power loss here. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going off the. I'm going to go off the. Well. For my first flight, I might have to use a separate source because I use battery telemetry, which so I need my balance lead on the battery for that. So to power this off of there, I'm going to have to put a Y connector on my battery source. You know, my balance lead. But for this test here, we're just going to use it. I don't need any telemetry for bench testing. Alright, so we're going to plug that into the balance lead here in the battery, like that. And we're going to plug the power wire here. Actually, let's do that first. Let's plug the... got to plug this into the throttle. You know, you have to plug your Y connector into the throttle port, so that you have one wire for the throttle and one wire for the afterburner. Okay, and then we're going to power up the let's power up the radio. Oops. Let's try that again. Alright. Radio's on. Let's power up the plane. I've got my throttle unplugged from the motor, so the motor might sit there and beep. and then we're going to power up the fiery booty. So I need my balance wire right here. Plug this in. Make sure the switch is on. And if you don't have a red light here, it's not on. Switch it on. Okay? So we should be good to go there. Oh, no, yeah. And we have to plug, don't forget to plug in the harness to the wire you just fed through the thing here. If you're not familiar with a JST connector, you can only plug it in one way. It has a notch in it. It won't plug in the wrong way, so you don't ever have to worry about reversing the connection. You'd have to force it really hard to get it in backwards. So if it's going in hard, you've got it wrong. Okay, so we should be good. So let's throttle up and see what we got here. Don't worry about my engine beeping. It's beeping because it's unplugged. I don't want to blow my camera over. If I throttle this thing up, it'll blow the camera right off the tripod. So we're not going to do that. So let's start throttling up. That's about half throttle. I'm just inching it up, guys. There it is. I think it just came on. Yep, right there it came on. So that's right about half throttle. Okay. And then as you throttle up, it gets brighter. So there you go. That's full throttle. And it has, I love the color. I don't know if you've seen a real F-22 go to afterburner, but it's got that orange hue to it, just like this. So for me, that looks really very real. From what I've seen, of the real F-22 flying, this looked pretty cool. So there you have it, guys. And it increases in brightness once you get a little past half throttle. It increases in brightness until you go all full throttle. So it keeps getting brighter, which is very cool. Really, really like that. So there you have it, guys. That's your install of the fiery booty from Ray, Mr. Gooniac. Thank you, Ray. Can't thank you enough. Appreciate the the product. Really do. Very nice. Very, very nice. Very professional. The circuit board, shrunk wrapped. I wouldn't call it watertight, but it's not gonna short. It's protected from shorting against anything inside your airplane. So that's great. It's very, very quality. This is a good quality looking board. All the solder joints are all shrunk wrapped. It's a quality piece, guys. It really is. I can't fault a thing here, guys. It's just a very quality product. If you're looking for an afterburner setup, this is definitely one to buy. I have absolutely no experience with the other brands that are out there. I've looked at them on the internet. I don't see that they're any better or worse. I don't know. Don't have those products to compare them to. But I can tell you that I would not be disappointed getting this, with the quality of the soldering and the shrink wrapping and the whole setup, the ease of install. I wouldn't be disappointed at all getting this in the mail. Which was very cool. Little box came in like this. This is the box that came in. It was he uses shipping bags for packing materials. That's really cool. It was well packed. It came in its own little Ziploc bag here. Everything was in the Ziploc bag. It's just a very, very good product. I can't say a bad thing about it, guys. It's just a great product. I recommend highly if you're going to get one of these. You know, if you're on the fence about which one to buy, I can tell you that there's nothing to be disappointed about with this one. It's very easy install, very simple install, self-explanatory. Doesn't need any instructions. I mean, you know, I've just shown you how simple it is. There's only, you unplug this, it came plugged in. You just unplug it to feed the wire through and plug it back in. And that's about it. I mean, there's, you know, you plug that into your balance lead, or you unplug this, add the included extension harness to it, plug it into a separate power source, and plug the other lead into your balance lead so that it gets power to this. Y connector your throttle, and you know, you're good to go. Simple. No adjustments. There's nothing to adjust. There's no adjustments on this to adjust. It just automatically comes on at half throttle and up, and it just works. So, all right, guys. So that's the end of my review. Hope you like that. Comments at the bottom. Like me here on YouTube. Like me on Facebook. And we'll catch you on the next review. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.